So we're now looking at Havij, and Havij is a GUI-based SQL injection tool that will actually exfiltrate data. Now it comes in a couple of versions, the free one that we're looking at here, as well as a commercial version. Or at least it did come in a couple of versions, because at the time of recording, the website that you see here appears to have disappeared. You can still go and download this from various places across the web though. But I wanted to include Havij in this course anyway, because it appears very, very frequently as a means of SQL injection. Now, one of the reasons it's so popular is that it is GUI based. It's extremely simple to use. In fact, it's so simple that you'll often see it being the tool of choice for hackers that really do not have any idea about SQL injection. In fact, if you go and have a look at some of the YouTube tutorials, you'll work out pretty quickly that it's very popular with kids. Rightly or wrongly, it is a very common tool, and I want to give you a quick overview of how it works. So what I've done is in the target field here, I've put in the URL of the page that we've been using so frequently throughout this course. And I'm just going to go up and hit the Analyze button here. Now, of course, Havij is simply making HTTP requests to look for SQL injection risks. And as we'll see down here in the bottom left-hand corner, it has found a database name of hackyourselffirst_DB. That is the internal database name of our system. Now I'm going to jump over to the Tables button here, and I'm going to ask it to get the tables in this database. So it's going to go through and just automate the process of forming the right requests with SQL injection payloads and looking at the responses. It's found a bunch of tables. Let's go and check user profile, and we'll now go and get columns. Now down the bottom you'll actually see some of the requests that it's issuing, and you'll see things like selecting from sys objects. So we've gone through this when we looked at the underlying mechanics of an injection attack, and we know that these system tables will disclose the internal structure of the database. And clearly we now have a bunch of columns in the user profile table. Let's go and get the email address, let's get the password, and let's now get the data. And what you're now seeing is the internal data exfiltrated out and displayed here in the Havij UI. This clearly is an extremely simple attack, and I wanted to demonstrate it here because I think that frankly this is about the best possible representation of just how easy a SQL injection risk can be to exploit. This is one of the things that keeps it in that #1 risk position on the OWASP top 10. And clearly the sort of data you see here could actually be very impactful as well, which was the other attribute that kept it right up the top. So that's data exfiltration with Havij. It's extremely basic, and that's really the point. Let's now move on and have a look at a more sophisticated tool for data exfiltration, and that's SQL Map.